Off Curry takes another three. It's up and good! He hit it with a guy in front of him and a guy behind him. He's got 62.
A couple years ago, during that pandemic season with no fans in the crowd, Stephen Curry dropped 62 on the Portland Trail Blazers. A week after Damian Lillard was basically discussing how Steph Curry, man, he's going to find it hard not having all that talent around him. He's going to know what I go through. Oh. And then Steph Curry dropped 62 on him. 2-year anniversary of that one. How about this? Yesterday, Klay Thompson drops 54, season high 54, the most points he scored since he's come back from the injuries and missing 2 full years of basketball. He drops 54 a week before his 1-year anniversary of coming back onto the basketball court when he came back against Cleveland. So Klay Thompson ahead of schedule there, dropping 54 last night as the Warriors win their 5th straight game, the longest winning streak of the season. They're now 20-18. They've won 6 straight at Chase Center. They're now 17-2 at Chase, an NBA best. Heck, in their last 31 at Chase Center, they've gone 28-3. One of those losses was a catastrophic loss to the Boston Celtics, game one of the NBA Finals. So, look, it's good to be back. When we left, the Warriors were 15-18. 15-18. There was a lot of doom and gloom when it came to Dub Nation, and there was a lot of happiness when it came to the 49ers. Now, as we flip the calendar, we're humming. Warriors are humming. Niners are humming. It's a great time to be a Bay Area sports fan.
We were off for quite some time. What was the thing that most people were asking you about, just in general, that you would run into? What do you think? Because I can go right to one thing.
The Warriors turning it around.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they can associate you with the Warriors, too.
It's Purdy real.
I was going to say the
because my mom, every time I talk to her, boy, that quarterback is great. Anna believes he's the next Tom Brady with a straight face. Like, all the casuals are all in on Brock Purdy. So I was thinking to myself,
I'm a diehard. I'm kind of in on Brock Purdy right now.
So this may be the first quarterback universally loved by this fan base since Joe Montana. Because I don't think everybody wrapped their arms around Steve Young. I don't think everybody wrapped their arms around Colin Kaepernick or Alex Smith or Jimmy Garoppolo or Jeff Garcia. Yeah. And universally, nobody's really hating on Brock Purdy the way we've hated on other quarterbacks.
Well, I watched back the game multiple times, okay? And I wanted to, not that I'm trying to, find bad plays or anything. I'm like, is what I'm watching real? Because it feels almost surreal when you're watching him. What he did against Washington in terms of being able to just kind of execute and
drive the ball downfield.
Absolutely, was outstanding. And then seeing what he did against the Raiders is like, all right, can he do this down multiple touchdowns? Okay, well, he was down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Now, they went right down the field. Boom, scored a touchdown. Can he lead this team to be in a position to kick a game-winning field goal with less than 2 minutes? Boom, he did that, even though Robbie Gould missed the kick.
They did it again in overtime. Well, they got the interception in overtime.
Yeah, thank goodness. But, every time that I'm looking for something that the guy can't do, he goes and does it. Can you win without Debo? Well, he's kind of proven he can do that. Right. Can you win with Christian McCaffrey being somewhat pedestrian? Well, they haven't needed to because it feels like every single game, 50 yards receiving, 50 yards rushing, minimum. Ayuk's been outstanding. And then seeing his synergy with George Kittle, it's like, what is there not to like? His ability to extend plays when it's clearly a broken play is outstanding. And then his ability within the framework of the designed play to just execute, he's been pretty damn perfect.
I told you this with McCaffrey, because I think McCaffrey's a difference maker.
I'm with you.
To me, McCaffrey, they've won 9 in a row. McCaffrey's been part of all 9 of these games.
I don't even want to think of what it would look like without McCaffrey because he's that good.
Well, without Christian McCaffrey, I don't think we're seeing this version of Brock Purdy.
Or Jimmy.
The ability to have this type of safety valve.
Yes.
19 carries, 121 yards.
Yes. 6
catches, 72 yards. You can line them up all over the football field. You can run so many different actions with Christian McCaffrey. To me, he is the difference. And so you look at Christian McCaffrey, and then you look at Brandon Ayuk seeing one-on-one coverage. Brock Purdy has been special to the point where I said this Sunday night because I watched the game right back, right? I couldn't get enough of it. It was electric. The Ravens-Steelers game was boring to me.
So boring.
I was like, I'm going back to watching the Raider Niner game.
Kenny Pickett, older, and a higher, first-round pick, 24th overall, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, Purdy looks better than Kenny Pickett.
I get it. Baltimore has a good defense, very good defense. It's a body bag game, rivals. This was boring to me. Huntley doesn't do it to me.
He can't throw.
Huntley doesn't do it for me. So I watched back the game, and I'm thinking to myself, man, the offense looks explosive. You don't have Deebo Samuel. Jawad Jennings is making plays. And look, George Kittle, outside of the touchdown, had a pedestrian day. 4 catches, 23 yards. Ayuk was special that day. But Purdy getting him the ball. Stand away from the oh-no throws. Every quarterback's going to have oh-no throws. He had a couple. He's a rookie. You got to remember that. It's a road start. You're on the road. That's the Raiders Super Bowl. It happens. But after watching it back, I said, man, I'm going to be pretty disappointed if they don't advance to the Super Bowl, even with Brock Purdy at quarterback. And I can't believe I'm there. I can't believe I'm there, Sasky.
I don't think I'm there yet. I see exactly what you're saying. I think it's so difficult to win playoff games in general.
Just think about it. If they lose in the first round, or if they lose in the second round with this personnel, with this talent, I'd be shocked.
But Bonte, the way the NFL works, like the Niners went in and they were barely into the playoffs last year and went into Dallas, a superior regular season team to them, and they thumped Dallas. And then still, after thumping them, almost gave Dallas an opportunity to try to win that game in the closing minutes. That's how thin the margins are of victory. I mean, they won a game in Green Bay against a dominant Green Bay team without scoring an offensive touchdown in the playoffs last year. I just feel like the playoffs are so unique and so different. Like Kansas City, I believe Kansas City to be one of the great teams of the last 5 years, just in general, like in the NFL. And that second half from Patrick Mahomes
had a terrible second half.
So things happen in the playoffs, like, yes, I'll be super disappointed. I just don't know if I'm there in terms of them being like, should be in the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm saying not should be, but I'd be disappointed if they didn't make it. Who's playing better than them right now in the NFC? Philly has lost 2 in a row.
I don't think anyone.
We don't know about Jalen Hurts.
Dallas playing pretty good right now.
They play pretty good, but even they struggled against Tennessee.
That's true.
Tennessee was in that football game. A win's a win, but Tennessee was in that football game. Tennessee was bringing it to Dallas.
With a quarterback none of us ever heard of.
Joshua Dobbs from Tennessee, and he's going to start this week against Jacksonville. Dallas is fraudulent to me. Minnesota, come on. Minnesota's a joke.
I don't know if they're a joke. I don't think they're a juggernaut. That I would go in the other direction. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're a joke. I think they're a good team.
Basically, we say all this to say nobody is unbeatable in the NFC.
Agreed. But if I said to you, like, hey, the Niners have played pretty clean football, but then I look at the Raider game, right, for 8-9 weeks straight. Like their win streak right now is the longest they've had since the 90s.
9-game win streak.
It's crazy. What was the recipe? Because that's how I saw a lot of Raider fans. Oh, the recipe's out. Here's the recipe. Run the ball against this front, which I would say that against any great defense, right? Run the ball well. It opens up the play action. It opens up ball shots downfield. Well, they did that. Josh Jacobs ran the ball. They blocked it very, very well.
Josh Jacobs is baller.
And it wasn't just Josh Jacobs. I thought the other running back, Bolden, ran really well as well when Jacobs was on the sidelines. And then they had the unique thing of the 2 tight ends killing the Niners. Moreau made plays, and Waller's a superstar. Or, you know, when he's healthy. And then Devontae Adams was outstanding. So can you get beat by a team that has that personnel? Right. Maybe. The other part of this, they played sloppy football. What, they have 9 penalties?
Yeah, a lot of penalties.
So, I don't know, man. Like, saying that the Niners should be the favorite, I hear what you're saying. They're a talented team. They play great football.
I'd be disappointed. You win 9 in a row. You're 12-4. They're number 2 seed in NFC. You're going to have 2 home. Right off the rip, you get a home game. You advance to the second round, you get another home game.
I mean, but if Green Bay comes in week 1, let's just say hypothetically, it's Green Bay that comes in the first round of the playoffs. Who's playing better football in the NFC in the last couple of weeks than them?
That would be disappointed if you lost in the first round of Green Bay.
And they're a team that they owe you one.
Yeah,
they owe you a couple.
That would be a crushing loss.
For sure.
A crushing loss.
But say this out loud. Rookie third-string quarterback loses to Hall of Fame back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers. I know.
He's not playing like it, though.
But I'm saying the general consensus around the country.
So you have a great defense. Everybody's calling it a great defense, one of the greatest defenses ever. I'm not there yet. You have a generational pass rusher. Nick Bosa's producing one of the top 5 single-season individual defensive performances we've ever seen in a Niner uniform.
And in that game, he doesn't get recorded a sack or a tackle. He had 7 pressures and 5 quarterback hits.
He forced the last interception by Stidham.
That was incredible.
Incredible. Frank Warner, Drake Greenlaw.
Stidham took shots in that game. I was so impressed with Stidham.
He was taking shots. Greenlaw and Warner are playing some of the best linebacker as a duo we've seen since Willis and Bowman. It's out there, all right? Hufanga has had an all-pro season at the strong safety spot. Now they're showing a weakness there. Mooney Ward's been a great free agent signing. You lose in the first round to Green Bay? It would be a nasty taste everybody's mouth.
Agreed.
And it will feel like a wasted season when you have McCaffrey playing at the Super Bowl level. You have Kittle playing it right now over the last month of the season, playing at an all-pro level. Brandon Ayuk is coming into his own, and he's about to eclipse 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. When the last time we say, wow, Niners hit on a pick in the first round on a wide receiver? It's been since Jerry Rice.
I know. He's been amazing.
It's been amazing.
Well, and it's crazy to me because we've talked about all the different things they've overcome. Javon Kinlaw played in this game. He had a couple of nice plays. Ty McGill? Who?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Some of these defenses, they had Ridgeway earlier making plays for them. Eric Armstead playing on the inside. You and I have been screaming about this for about 3 years. He's an interior defensive lineman. Ever since they moved him back to the inside, we're seeing an elite level of play from Eric Armstead. That's what we need from him. But, like, I'm looking at this team, B, and I'm saying to myself, like, you know, turnovers you can't account for. They've led the league in terms of plus minus, or at least been near the top of the league in plus minus all year. A couple of bad bounces. Their special teams is not that good. Yeah. And, you know, like, I feel like the margin of victory is so hard in the NFL for me to say that I'd be disappointed if they lose in round 1, 2, 3, any point.
Listen, they're going to be favored possibly in every game in the NFC playoffs. They may go to Philadelphia and be favored by a couple
Should
points.
they?
With this defense, why not?
In Philly? I mean, they're battle-tested.
They'd probably be a 2-point dog or 3-point dog.
It's just wild to me that we're saying that. Like, think about this. If they don't lose to Arizona, let's say they beat Arizona, right? And that's a big if. Let's say they beat Arizona. They will have gone, if they want to get to the Super Bowl, like a 14-game win streak, a 13-game win streak.
I know.
That's asking a lot.
That's asking a lot. But we're here. Play this cut, Spinoni, before we get to Bobby on 680. Steve Young yesterday at Monday Night Countdown was discussing the NFC playoff picture. And listen to Steve.
What did he say?
Basically said some team that, other than the Niners, are the best right now in the NFC.
You always say throw out the records. I think in this way, this evolution of the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers being the leader. If it wasn't Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Peyton Manning, or like, this is a guy that's done it so many times. Those young players have gone up. They've gotten healthy. Aaron's healthy. That's why we can talk about the record being 8-8. We can throw it out. We can talk about what they look like in September and throw it out. The idea that this is a same Packer team, I think if you look at the NFC, who's afraid of the Packers as they play today, who they've become, I think that you can make a case for the Packers being the best team in the NFC. Forget about the record. Just who's leading them, who they've become in the last month. How could you not see the talent that they have?
What about your 49ers, who have won 9 in a row, Steve?
I'm just saying, you make a case. Relax. There's a lot of NFC teams.
I can't wait to
There's no way you can make a case. I love you, Steve. There's no way you can make a case to the best team in the NFC. No way.
Okay.
I'm with Steve there.
Well, I don't know if they're the best team, but we agree, like, in terms of who
They're
the
hot.
Niners, I would want to avoid them the most in the first round is the way I would phrase it.
They're hot. They've won 4 in a row.
Yes.
Their defense is forcing turnovers.
Yes.
Jair Alexander is locking down anybody and everybody and healthy.
And Watson is
good after the quarterback.
developing.
Oh, Christian Watson is a problem. Alan Lazard as your second receiver is good. A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones in the backfield. The line is coming together. Look, I was still favoring the Niners in the game. They still have Aaron Rodgers. Last year, they came to Levi Stadium, and they beat the Niners. They beat the Niners on Sunday Night Football. Now I get it, Devontae Adams.
Such a sick throw.
So it was great. It's John Rodgers. LaFleur knows his system. He knows the 49ers. Niners should win that game. But when I look at Diamador Lenore, he's getting picked on right now. The back end of the secondary is getting picked on right now. Christian Watson's getting deep over the top. He's taking the top off the defense. Lazard's running the intermediate stuff. Tanyan's now playing at tight end. He's healthy now. That game concerns me. It does. It's a very concerning game. And Shasky, if they lost that first-round game, we're not going to come here on Monday morning saying, you know what? You have Brock Purdy. It was a good riding. What a division.
Yeah.
We're going to be ticked off if they lose in the first round to Green Bay.
Look, I admit, if the Niners lose in any spot, first, second, third round, the NFC Championship game, I'll be devastated. Like, I'll admit that on the front end. But in terms of Diamador Lenore, like, is that him getting picked on or the byproduct of having to guard one of the best players in the NFL in Devontae?
Well, it's not just Devontae, though. You know, you think about him against Miami. You think about him against Tampa. You think about him against Washington. Teams are going at Lenore. They're saying number 38 We're going to stay away from Moody Ward.
Yeah.
And we know Moody Ward's going to shadow the best wide receiver, whether it's Devontae's a stud. He's the best wide receiver outside of Justin Jefferson in football.
He's going to the Hall of Fame, probably.
He's an absolute stud.
He's ridiculous.
But it's the other guys making plays. It's Hufanga getting beat by Waller on the play-action pass. Hufanga, we seen it at the Tampa Bay game where he's confused before the play. Mike Evans wide open for 75 yards. Got lucky with the holding call. Right? Dotson deep down the field against Deshaun Gibson. Drops a pass. Drops a dime. A little concerned about the secondary moving forward, and Rodgers will pick on you. He will look at the matchup, whether it's Lazard or Christian Watson saying, I'm going at this dude.
On the Hufanga thing, I think there's definitely a conversation to be had. He does give up a big play in every game. But he does
get you beat in the playoffs, Sasky.
No doubt. One play is that's the margin. That's why I'm so reluctant to say I know I'll be devastated if they lose, but to say that they should do this and they should do that, it's just really hard to win playoff games. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, we all think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Right.
He's got the one Super Bowl appearance.
I'm not gonna,
it's really hard to win in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So, getting back to the Hufanga thing though, he did learn from his mistake on that goal line situation and then didn't bite on the ball fake and then went out and covered Hufanga on the 3-down stop, and then they went for it on 4th down. That's actually a sneaky part of the game that no one's bringing up.
No
is the Raiders went for it and didn't get it, got stuffed.
That was huge.
It was huge.
Did not sneak there? My God.
Well, just take the 3. It's so early in the game. I don't know. There's a time and a place, but there was a lot of things that broke the Niners' way. I mean, the ball that gets batted by Brock Purdy in that game. I mean, the same thing happens to Stidham, and it's an interception for the Niners.
No doubt.
Brock Purdy rolls out, throws I don't know where he was going. Some people say he's trying to go deep. I don't know. He throws, gets cracked, the ball goes up in the air, and Ayuk makes a hell of a play.
Well, didn't see the play-action pass where he's looking for Kittle on the right side. And
that one.
Robertson sneaks right under. That was a bad read. Purdy's going to see some things in the playoffs that he's not seeing right now. So, look, with all that said, again, with the way he's playing quarterback, with this weaponry, knowing that Debo's coming back, Elijah Mitchell's coming back.
They need Debo back.
They're
I agree.
healthy. I would be disappointed if they lost in the first couple rounds of the playoffs. I would be highly it'd be a massive blow.
I hear you. I hear you on that one.
Everything is broken right for the 49ers.
No doubt. Well, no, I don't know about everything breaking right. You're talking about around them.
Around them and with this team, they're getting healthier at the right time.
That I agree with, but they also lost their left guard, Banks, who's played really good football this year. One of the biggest question marks heading into the year. He goes down with a knee injury. Burford, a rookie. There's been a lot that hasn't gone well for them, and they've overcome it.
The Stars have a line for them.
No doubt.
Stars have a line. Let's go to Bobby at 680.
It's a remarkable season.
Bobby, 680. What's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, man. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year.
And all that stuff. I just wanted to, I'm coming from a diehard Raider fan. Just watching Brock Purdy was awesome. It's really been really awesome to see. My wife's a diehard Niner fan, so
nice.
Trust me, I got to watch all the games. But no, just his presence and what he does is really, really unique to see. And it's funny to hear these top analysts say the Brady-like mentality. Some are saying he does everything week by week. He's kind of doing it methodically. His game he had to step in when Garoppolo got hurt. He came in, he kind of roughed that one up, and obviously he played amazing. But then his first official start, he ironed it out with McCaffrey, and then the next week was Ayuk, and then that third game was George Kittle going off, and you could see this guy just methodically going through each player and say, hey, I'm going to take my time with the playbook and work your position and work that slot. And yeah, he's making his mistakes, like you were saying, Dante, but I cannot agree with what you guys are saying. And I promise you with all I got, we're playing football with the kids in the backyard, and my friend's little son goes, Purdy going deep, and throws the ball.
Unbelievable.
It is one Super Bowl away from a 30 for 30. All right, guys. Yeah.
No rookie's ever won the Super Bowl. It's asking a lot. It's asking a lot.
If they win one playoff game with this guy, it'll be remarkable. Getting to the playoffs with him and staying on a win streak is almost unbelievable. And it sets let's take the temperature of Niner fans after Jimmy Garoppolo goes down and Brock Purdy runs out onto the field. If you'd have told me, Joe, not only are they going to win, they're going to score over 30 in just about every single one of those games. They're going to unlock Kittle. Ayuk's going to have a monster season. No. I'm sorry. Even the biggest Purdy defender would say there's going to be more growing pains than what we've seen. He's been close to perfect.
I can't believe it.
It's insane.
I can't believe it. Like, they've looked better with Brock Purdy at quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. Look better.
People are going to take that as a knock on Jimmy.
It's not a knock on Jimmy.
No, I think it's more an indictment of how amazing Brock's been.
I mean, his pocket presence, keeping plays alive. Jimmy's not able to do that. When the play's dead, when the pocket gets compromised, Jimmy throws it away or he throws a yo-no throw. Not knocking him. It's just who he is. Purdy has the mobility in the field, which I didn't see. I did not see it. To know when to throw it away, throw it check down, throw it across the field to George Kittle for a nice little 5-yard gain. Those are the differences, those little paper cuts that you get hit with, where Jimmy's throwing it out of bounds in the 2nd and 10. Where with Brock Purdy, it's 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. I'm blown away here. I'm blown away by Brock Purdy's performance.
I want to go back maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when we found out that Jimmy was going to be out and there might be an opportunity for him to come back. I think in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, if he gets healthy and things go the right way, we'll see what it looks like with Brock. But yeah, I'd probably, if Jimmy can get up to speed, I would probably feel better as a Niner fan if Jimmy had the ball to start the game. If he was healthy and Brock was struggling a little here and there, that is the farthest thing in my mind. Like at this point, there's no, even if Brock has a stinker against Arizona, I think you have to ride this thing out.
Yeah, I don't think you go back to Jimmy.
I think he's played better than Jimmy. And I'm not trying to indict Jimmy. I'm not trying to crush him. B, I feel like he's played better.
I don't think you go back to Jimmy Garoppolo.
He brings more to the table.
I don't think
I can't believe I'm saying that.
I know.
And I'm not saying that as a backhanded way of disrespecting Jimmy. I'm saying that to elevate Purdy. He's been amazing.